Hi there, it's Beauty Junkie. Welcome to my channel. Today we are getting into some more Victoria Beckham makeup. I'll be doing a product description, swatches, comparisons, and a demo. This will be a first impressions review, but some of these products I have used other shades of before, so I know they work pretty well. I picked up the relatively new matte bronzing brick in the shade 01. This beautiful guy right here. I picked up two new satin kajal eyeliners in the shades bronze and cocoa. I also picked up the new mascara Fuchsia Lash, and that's all I picked up for products. I'm super excited to talk about Victoria Beckham because it has quickly become one of my favorite luxury brands. Alright, so let's get into product details first. The matte bronzing brick. I mean, look at this packaging. So I kind of held off on getting this straight away when it came out because I wasn't like super excited with the shades. This is the lightest shade, and I think I probably could have gone with shade 2. Yeah, I know I probably should have gone with shade 2, but this is the shade I got, and I don't know, I just wasn't excited about bronzers. I have several that I'm going to show you comparisons of that I absolutely love. I have plenty of product left. Did I really need to get this? But I figured, you know what, I haven't bought a bronzer in a while, so wanted to get a newer one so you guys could see what it's like on my skin. And I know like there's a lot of new bronzers out there, powder ones especially, and the Wayne Goss is like this. Kind of the 2-shade format. There's a Patrick Ta. I didn't get those. I just got the Victoria Beckham because I just want to try all of her makeup these days. This packaging is gorgeous. There has been some issues with this clasp. I think this is one of the heaviest face compacts I've ever had. Very, very heavy. Very sturdy, but I think because of the weight maybe, or the spring in here, some people have had issues with the staying closed, but I don't have any issues so far. I love the tortoiseshell print on everything. It's very consistent. Just plain black on the back. So the matte bronzing brick has a warm shade and a contour shade. So this is Dusk and Sunkissed. This lasts 12 months. There's 9.6 grams, 0.34 ounces of product. This retails for $58. So the two shades are so you can customize. I'm reading off the website. Your bronzer for the most natural sun-kissed skin, blends seamlessly, wears effortlessly, and is impossible to overdo. Features a refillable plastic free keepsake compact. So this is refillable. I love that. I like that this is nice and sturdy packaging, although I know this is kind of heavy. I love the heaviness of it. I think that's what we dream of when we think of luxury packaging, is something weighty and just more significant than some of the lighter cardboard plastic packaging that we often get. Shade 1 is for fair to light skin tones. Shade 2 for light to medium. I probably should have gone with shade 2, but I was a little bit afraid. Sometimes I do have some darker bronzers that I can use, but I don't have like a ton of like really light bronzers, so I went with a lighter one. We'll see how it goes. This is the box packaging of the brick bronzer. It has the shade name right here. The ingredients on the back. In case you guys were wondering, I did get a reusable drawstring bag that I have already dirtied makeup. Very cute. Never got a bag before, but I think this is maybe the first time I've ordered enough product to get a bag. I ordered directly from Victoria Beckham. This bronzer has been selling out regularly. It did come back in stock, but when I checked back on the website today, some shades are already selling out again. So it seems like once it gets in stock, it kind of within a couple weeks, people buy it up. So keep your eye out on this. I do wish Victoria Beckham was available at more retailers because her stuff just sells out. So that's it for the bronzer description. Onto the eyeliners. This is the eyeliner packaging. These are 1.2 grams, 0.042 ounces. These last 12 months. $28. There are 5 shades. I now have 3. I did a separate video on the Satin Kajal liner in Bordeaux. That video also featured the lid luster in Tea Rose. So I was like in love with how the eyeliner performed. So I got 2 more. They are just like the Bordeaux, but in different shades. It is a pencil liner, and you can order a sharpener or not on Victoria Beckham's website. Each end comes with this rubber smudger. I will say the cap on the eyeliner end can be a little bit difficult to put on and off. It's very snug, but hopefully that means these won't dry out. And finally, the mascara. I've heard so many good things about this mascara. Now, this is a tubing mascara, and it's called Future Lash. This is the only mascara Victoria Beckham has come out with. There is 4.8 milliliters, 0.16 fluid ounces. This lasts 6 months. $28 as well. Longer lifted lashes, instantly stronger, silkier lashes over time. Rinses away effortlessly with just warm water. No cotton pads, no remover, no problem. 100% of people agree that lashes look lifted upon application. It says long wear, smudge proof, flake proof, humidity proof, sweat proof. So I did try this once before. I'll let you know my thoughts, but we're gonna try it out together today. I have not tried it removing it with just warm water though, so I'll have to try that. But yeah, that's the mascara. It is very weighty if you're curious. This is the box packaging. Just a very plain mascara. I don't really see any tortoise shell on this, and the eyeliners are just plain black as well. All right, let's get into swatches. Let's do the bronzer first. I know you guys are excited. So I did some swatches in Sunlight that I will show on the screen now of the bronzer and the 2 eyeliners that I picked up. But let's do some swatches in this indoor kind of dimmer lighting, just so you can get a different look. See how light that is? Even though it's light, it is warm. I'm not gonna lie. If you think this is more of a contour shade, this is a little bit warm for me for contour. I'd say this is definitely a bronzer. This shade almost looks like a skin tone powder, face powder, not really having anything to do with deepening my complexion. Or, yeah, it's a little bit light. It's a lot of bit light. Yeah, I think I would have preferred this to be not this color. But there's only so many options, so I thought this would probably be the best one for me if I want just a little bit of bronze. But that is what the indoor swatch looks like. And then I'll quickly do the eyeliner swatches. I'll do Cocoa first. So the shades I got, I believe, are her best-selling shades. So let's do this. Just want to show you how easy and bold that is. Honestly, these are the best pencil liners I have ever tried, hands down. I know a lot of people talk about these liners, but they are truly that good. And here is bronze. Look at that. I'll just do one swipe. See how bold that is, one swipe? But that's a little bit of a thicker line. This is such a deep, antique bronze brown shade. Sometimes when I pick out like bronzy eyeliners, they're just too light. And I like how deep this one is, that I can replace it with and get the same effect as like a brown liner, really. So love these colors, love how they perform. And just for kicks, if you haven't seen Bordeaux, this is Bordeaux. They're just beautiful. I'm not going to swatch the mascara, but let's get into comparisons of the bronzer. I don't think I really have much in terms of comparisons with these eyeliner colors, so we're just going to focus on bronzer comparisons today. This powder, you guys, it's so silky smooth. It's not super like creamy soft feeling. It's a little bit not dry, but it leans more on the dry side, but it is very smooth and like feels finely milled. The Victoria Beckham Bronzing Brick in shade 1. Now we're going to get into my other bronzers. So I'm going to start off with my lighter powder bronzers for comparison. This is a bit of a different product, but I think it's close enough. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow in light medium. So this is more of a contour slash highlighter, which isn't the same product as Victoria Beckham's, but I just want to swatch this Sculpt shade so you guys can get an idea. Ooh, that is a little bit hard to see. A little bit more neutral toned, that, and then the highlight, obviously not the same. Guys, I am terrible at swatching on this arm. That is the Charlotte Tilbury. So different, right? But not like super far off in terms of tone. Now I'm gonna go into a cream bronzer here because I think the shade is actually close. This is the Le Beige's, Chanel Le Beige's Healthy Glow Soleil Tan Bronze Universal. This is the original light shade. And even though this is a cream, I just wanted to show you the color because it's also a warm one. So remember, this is VB, this is Chanel. I think these are very close in tone. Just to give you guys an idea if you already have this product. Obviously, different textures, different application. Here's another cream product that is more of a contour, but because this is so light, you could use it as a bronzer. This is the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate Compact in Intensity 0.5. So of course, I'm going to go in this very creamy contour bronzer deal. This one looks a little bit muddy and scary, but it does blend out. I think this is a shade that works for bronzer, a little bit more neutral to cool than what we've seen up here. Now we're gonna start getting into my deeper favorite bronzers. Let's go with the Tom Ford Glow Bronzer in Terra. This is a powder. You can see it's a little bit more neutral to cool and just a deeper guy for my skin. Not something that probably most people would pick up if you had my skin tone, but I like it. And you can see how the tone with this one is a little different. So that's why I picked it up. It's not the lightest shade that the Soleil Glow offers. So that's that one. Then I have the Sicily Phyto Touch Sun Glow Bronzing Gel Powder. There's not really a shade with this, just one shade. This is very glowy, so it's not matte, but you can see it's a little bit different. It's super smooth, really nice, really pretty. This one's a little bit warmer, but you can see somewhat richer, more intense, more pigmented than some of these other ones here. I mean, I'm sure you're saying these all look the same, but they're not. I really don't need any more bronzer, as you can see. So my deepest shade is Chantecaille Bronze, Real Bronze in Goa. I've hit pan on this one. This is really deep. I don't go too hard, but I definitely tend to overdo it on this one more than I should. But this is obviously my deepest one, and I love it. It's not that bad on the swatch. I think it's not that bad on my face. But this probably, I just love the tone of it. I think it I just love the tone of this one. I think it works even though I'm pale as all hell. But those are my comparison swatches. You can see like over here like the realm that of warmness compared to some other popular bronzers. So I don't have a ton of face palettes, to be honest, but I do have the Scott Barnes Sculpting Contour Palette. So this really isn't a bronzer. I think it's really meant for contour, but you can use it as bronzer. I'm not really sure there's a match here. Maybe Carve on this deeper shade, but it's definitely richer and more pigmented. So I wouldn't say there's a match there, but just wanted to pull that out. I mean, honestly, the Charlotte Tilbury is not that far off from shade 1, and I do think the Chanel Soleil Glow bronzer is pretty close as well, but yeah, that's that. All right, let's get into the demo. I know you guys are excited. You should be. I know I'm really excited to show you what this bronzer can do. Now for bronzer brush, I'm going to be using the Sonia G Inoshige Pro. I know this is out of stock all the time, but it's pointed. I don't know why I like this one for bronzer, but I've always been using it. You could, you know, blend it out with something a little bit more flat. Or you can use a giant brush for bronzer. Everyone has their own technique with bronzer. I mean, you could use something a little bit more structured if you want more of a contour. There's so many options, but I'm going to use this guy. I have some makeup on my face in powder. I use the Chantecaille loose powder in light. Foundation, I use the Chantecaille Just Skin Tinted Moisturizer. Concealer, I went with the Dior Forever Skin Correct. And primer, I of course used the Victoria Beckham Cell Rejuvenating Priming Moisturizer in Original. And that's what I used on my skin. So I do have some powder down, setting powder, you know, because that's what I normally do before I put on my other powder products. So we're just going to go in with the bronzer, and I am going to mix the two because I liked how that looked before. But let's just start out with the lightest shade just to see what it looks like by itself on my skin, in case you just wanted to see this. I think it's like a deeper regular face powder. It doesn't match my skin, so I can't just use it all over my face. But it does kind of blur. I get a little bit of color. I'm not real blended out right now, but I have a little bit of color on my cheeks. Not really enough. And then just using the deeper side, let's go back in. Now you could use this technique kind of layering if you want, or you can mix them. When I tried this for the first time, I mixed them and I really liked it. But this is what this looks like. It's really natural. I mean, these shades are not like going to make you look tan per se, but they're gonna give us really pale folks some really natural looking color. Now, if you are really pale, this is gonna be plenty of glow and deepening for you. But if you're a little bit more on the moving towards the medium side than me, this is probably going to be too light for you, in the sense that you're going to have to layer on the deep shade a little much. Do you want to put on that much powder? I'm not sure that most of us do. I'm probably putting way more than I would normally put on my face, just so you guys can see it. I'm going to blend this out with my face one, but I love how natural glow this is. And this is going to be a shade I can use all year long in the winter when I'm I think winter, you don't want to be like super Goa shade because it looks less natural unless you go on like a beach vacation. This is a shade you can rock all year long for a little bit of color. It's just really natural, and I think it's really easy to apply, really smooth, blends into my skin, even though like I made this really wide. Doesn't look horrible. It's just foolproof. So I love that. I think if I were to do this again, I would get a deeper shade, to be honest, but I'm happy to have this because I have plenty of shades that are deeper, so I'm happy. I'm going to apply a little bit of blush on camera with you guys, even though there is no Victoria Beckham blush, unfortunately. I'm going to be using the Pat McGrath blush in Nymphette. This one right here has a little bit of a glow to it. Just a little bit of that. I don't want to overpower the bronzer show. Alright, I'm done with the complexion. Now on to trying out these eyeliners. So a normal look, I probably wouldn't use cocoa and bronze on the same eye because bronze is deep enough to like give me a defining eye look that I don't feel like I would need to do double duty and do both. So I was going to pair this with the Tea Rose, but I just want to show off these eyeliners today. So I'm just going to do bronze on the top and experiment using cocoa on the inner lower lash line. Here's a fun tip. If you take off adding a pencil sharpener, the cost of this is $2 less. So let's try this out. So this is a smudgy shade, so pencil. So I'm going to take the rubber end. Look how pretty that shade is. You're going to be able to see that better in the sun, but super pretty. Now, I would say this is like foolproof eyeliner, but because it's so pigmented, you're not going to have to layer back and forth to get the color to like, cover your eyelid. So you kind of need to have a little bit of a careful hand and make sure you're not like over applying because you really only need like one swipe. So you just want to be a little, mindful of how precise you are with liner when using this, because it also does have a little bit of a staying powder. So if you were to put a line and let it set, it stays pretty budge proof. You can smear it a little bit, but once it's set, it doesn't really move too much. I mean, some of that top layer moves, but it's pretty like budge proof. I haven't tried this with water or crying or anything, but yeah, you want to start moving it right after you apply it. Like if you want to do this sort of eyeshadow smoky look, you want to start moving quickly. So I'm going to go over that bottom line again. So we still have that defined eye at the base of the lash, but a little bit of color up above. Onto Cocoa. I think this is the best selling shade. It is brown, and it's a very deep brown though. Here we go. Inner line. Waterline? What do you put? Waterline. So I'm not gonna lie, I do not like putting eyeliner there, because generally my eye just goops it up and it ends up all right here. That's already happening, but just want to experiment, I generally like to have my eyes as big as possible, and this closes them. So it's not a look that I like, but I know a lot of people do it, so we're doing it. But sometimes the eyeliners that stay put are really dry, but when you first put this one on, it's like pretty wet. So it makes it easier to apply, to be honest. This is a very different eye look for me. I usually don't do cat eyes with pencils, so I'm not even gonna try that shape. But this is pretty simple, pretty fast. If you only had like an eyeliner in your bag, you could create some sort of eye look with this. But for the purposes of an eyeliner, just to be an eyeliner, these are fabulous. And I love the bronze shade. I thought this was gonna be lighter than it is, but I'm glad it's deep, and it's a different alternative to brown. It's very cool looking. All right, on to trying the Future Lash mascara. So a tubing mascara, I don't really know the purpose of like why is there tubing and not tubing? So I'm gonna look that up and let you know. So unlike regular mascaras that paint your lashes with pigment, yet are prone to flaking, smudging, and running, tubing mascaras, which originated in Japan, are made with polymers that wrap around each individual lash, creating tiny tubes, hence the name tubing mascara. That is from the Ipsy blog. Hopefully that's right. So some people absolutely prefer tubing mascaras. I don't usually, when I'm buying them, you don't usually know whether or not they're tubing mascaras or not, so it's always a gamble, unless you like read reviews. I heard this was a tubing mascara, so I was like, okay, I'm fine with that. Like, I definitely have a mix of both in my collection, to be honest. I do like how easy this was to remove. That is definitely a big part of me liking a mascara, is how well I can remove it. And there are some mascaras, especially expensive ones, that are so incredibly hard to remove that even after I use a makeup remover, I still get a ton of staining underneath my eyes after I wash my face. One I can think of that does that is this Pat McGrath Fetish Eyes. It's one of those like really oil rich or something mascaras that just is hard to remove. But this guy, look at the brush. This is different shape for me. This is really tiny. It's just not fat, it's curved, and it's just different probably than most mascara wands that you're gonna see, especially if you want like full volume, full length. This is a different shape, and let's just try it out and I'll describe what it's like. So I have very short lashes, so you know, I'm not the best test for like if a mascara is really good at lengthening, just because it's hard to tell sometimes. But what I like about this mascara is because of the brush is so small, I can get really close to my lashes and the lash base and just drag them up really easily. Whereas when you have a wand that has bristles that just stick out more, it's harder to get them to the base of my lashes. But with this one, because of the tiny wand, I can apply a crap load of product. And I think I'm probably, because I have more control, it's smaller, I'm probably less likely to get this on my skin, even though I just did. But yesterday I didn't have any issue. And it's probably more likely that I can do my bottom lashes with this kind of a wand really comfortably. So I am not afraid of some clumpiness like some people are. So my lashes tend to look clumpy, and I don't really mind that because I'm lazy. But some people, I think with this one, you're gonna want to go easy because I was able to quickly build up a lot of product. But when I was removing this yesterday, this removed so easily. I had no stains under my eyes after I washed my face. It was awesome. But also what I like about this brush and this formula, it's a little bit wetter and the brush isn't stiff. Sometimes mascara wands actually hurt my eyelashes and my eyelid because I'm like moving it so much. I don't know, there's some bristles that just hurt me. This one's really comfortable. So in terms of like luxury mascaras and are they better than drugstore Not really. Tried a lot, and I just feel like what's most important is figuring out what kind of wand and formula works for your lashes, and it's going to be different for everyone. It's hard. I know there's some really popular mascaras out there with lots of good reviews and lots of people like them, but those are usually with people with more substantial lashes to work with, but I'm part of that group that has really tiny lashes. Those ones with the big ones that promise a lot of drama and curl and length. I don't know. I used to really like them, but I just have learned to not like them over the years. I also am a person that doesn't want to spend a long time building up my lashes, so if I have a formula that doesn't do a lot very quickly, I don't like that. But this one actually put on some product rather quickly. So a lot of this is like technique, and I still think I probably could use a Q-tip underneath here to just clean up a little bit of that. But most of the time I get mascara up here, and I got a little bit, but it's not, I just feel like I have more control. I'm gonna do a little bit of cleanup and I will be right back. Alright, so I did a little bit of water cleanup, and I just love how precise this mascara wand is for me personally. I think if you had really long lashes, you're probably used to something thicker, so it might take a little bit to get used to. I did notice a little bit of flaking with just moving my eyes around and applying the product, but it's very minimal. I'll have to let you know in future videos how well I like this one, just let you know how it lasts throughout the day, how it performs for a full day. I did wear it yesterday and I didn't notice any flaking after wearing it for a few hours, so that's a win in my book. The eyeliner on my lower lash line is surprisingly staying and not gooping up in here, but I will have to let you know how that turns out as well. This is kind of a little bit more of a grungy look for me, just with the eyeliner. It's kind of funny, and there's just blank white canvas up here and bronze skin. I'm going to do a Victoria Beckham inspired lip. I don't have any of their lip products yet. I will talk about what I was planning on picking up with this order, but took out of my basket in just a bit. But let's do lips first. I'm going to use the Charlotte Tilbury Lip Cheat Pillow Talk. For lipstick, I think this is a very Victoria Beckham shade, and that she would wear something like this. This is a Lisa Eldridge Velvet Affair lipstick. It's a very 90s brown. This one actually broke. I think it got too hot in my apartment and melted. So this one doesn't work too well. Love that color. I think it fits with this kind of grungy eyeliner vibe. Definitely something I used to rock. An eye look I would wear in high school for sure. Not the lipstick though. I never wore lipstick in high school. Oh my gosh, I love this look. Okay. If you wanted to be a little more chill, relaxed looking, you could use the lip gloss. I have a fair, but I'm going to leave this lipstick on. I'm liking the bronzer. I think I applied a little bit too much, but I think you guys can get a sense of the shade. I really enjoy this collection of products that I picked up. I mean, I really have no complaints. Victoria Beckham is quickly becoming one of my favorite luxury brands. I don't think I can say that about a lot of brands, especially one that's, you know, created by a celebrity. But this one is really good. And I think what makes it so great is how user-friendly these products are, how great they are for all ages and not just 20-year-olds. They're just like classic stuff. Now let's get into the products that I had in my basket and then took out. I think for me, this is an expensive line. I'm going to go slowly in. I'm going to spread out my purchases. I'm not going to buy everything all at once, even though I really want to. It is very tempting, but I'm going to take it slow. I do need, so what I had in my basket, lots of lip stuff, to be honest. I wanted to get the Bitten Lip tint in Baisu, I think is the shade. Kind of a deeper berry shade, but I felt like I have a lot of new lip products right now. Do I really need to buy more at this moment? Probably not, but probably one day I will pick up some Victoria Beckham lip stuff. So Bitten was in my cart. You know, I was looking at, well, maybe I should try a lipstick. And then I was looking at the colors. And I'm like, maybe only one or two I would really like. And that would, I would probably pick up Sway and the Posh lipstick, but I took that out of my cart. The lip liner, I think a lot of people really like, so I'm tempted to get one of those lip liners. I would probably get number 2 or number 1, and probably not much deeper than that. For eyes, I like the lid luster a lot, but I'm really, I probably would get Honey. It would be my next shade. I have Tea Rose. Probably would pick up Honey because the formula of that one I think is similar to Tea Rose. There's not a lot of fallout. I have heard that Blonde and Mink are a different formula, so I'm a little bit scared to pick those up. So, and then for the eyes, I would like to get the Smoky Eye Break in the matte brown shade, which is called Signature. That was in my cart because it looks so pretty and so smooth and just a nice basic palette. But do I really need that? Probably not. It's just more about the packaging and having those shades together. I was a little concerned that the lightest shade in that palette is probably not going to show up on my skin. So that kind of turned me off just a little bit. I also think I probably haven't picked these up before because the colors are not super exciting or innovative to me. The Silk Eye Break, which is like the shimmery eye break, I mean, it's probably pretty, but I'm not sure it's going to be worth $56. So I'm holding off on the eye palettes for now. All about the eyeliners. I think though I have every shade I need in the eyeliners for now. I have 3 eyeliners. You know, I think what she really needs to come out with is more face products. A blush, a foundation, a concealer, something, a powder. I'm waiting because I'm sure that's going to be good, but hey, it's, I'm sure, in development. Skincare, I already have the primers. I like the original more than the golden. The golden doesn't really change my face color that much, but I feel like the formulas are slightly different and I prefer the original. I have not tried the serum. I think that's all the products. I wish she had more. But I appreciate that she's carefully crafting each product, taking her time, making sure it's perfect. It seems like that's pretty much it for all the products. So I have a good variety of things from her collection. I think the biggest thing I'm missing right now is lips and possibly the eyeshadow bricks. But I am excited to continue to show you different things from this brand, try things out, swatch. I am very impressed. I'm sure some of you, if you are on the fence about trying anything from this collection, while yes, I enjoy this bronzer, I feel like it is very smooth. So if you have aging skin, unperfected skin, if you're looking for a luxury smooth bronzer, this is nice. I would try to look at some more, find somebody on YouTube that looks like you, that you think has a good bronzer shade, and see what they're using. If you can find this in person, pick out the shade in person so you can figure out what's going to work for you. This is really light. If you want a really natural look, go with 1, but you might want to go, I don't know, maybe a shade deeper than you normally would for summer, shade lighter than you normally would for winter. These are just thoughts running through my head. It is good. It is a refill. If you like that kind of sustainable packaging, you can refill this. I don't know if I've ever finished a bronzer, so we'll see how useful that's going to be, but I do like the packaging. I like the mascara so far. We'll see. I have to keep trying it to determine, like, is it worth $28? But I think absolutely, even with the primer, that's really good. It's a lot of money though. I don't think it's that worth it. I think what's worth it from this brand are the eyeliners. Hands down. I mean, these three colors are really good. I think the most unique yet wearable shade for most people is probably going to be bronze. Bordeaux is red. Some people don't like a red near their eye, maybe because you have red eyes. I like the unique shade with Bordeaux, but you know, that's not going to be for everyone. If you like a plain brown, classic brown, cocoa is going to be your friend, and it works on the lower inner lash line. And I'm not someone that can easily put things in there. I get very watery eyes. I'm pretty sensitive. Don't really like stuff in there. So I think that says a lot. Try the eyeliners if you haven't already. I've been talking in this video way too long. Appreciate you hanging out till the end. Let me know what you are going to pick up next from this brand. And what do you want to see most from this brand? Comment below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.